together to see how we can challenge some of these stereotypes and like really a continuation of colonial kind of approaches. Listening to each and every one of you, I am so heartened that the human capital that we have in this room, the different backgrounds that you are coming from, and the desire to change and to foster change.
Today started with a keynote speech by the ambassador from Zimbabwe, who came and addressed us, who talked to us about different aspects of the decade. This day is actually, we were launching a dialogue, the start of a dialogue, consultations among ourselves and with other decision makers and interest groups, dialogue about the implementation of the Decade of People of African Descent. In momentum, thanks to the visit of UN work group in February, they actually gave us the impetus because they made the decision makers actually take interest in the decade. And as a community of people of African descent, we are focusing on making sure that we take out the message to every corner of our people here in Belgium, and to make sure that we work alongside the government in the implementation of the decade. We don't want to be bystanders because it's about us, so we want to make sure that majority of our people are involved and we can actually benefit from it.
Really, it's a great honor, and to me, we are here in solidarity with you, to encourage you to take advantage of the momentum of this decade, to see how, as Africans, our views, our concerns, our aspirations can also be put on the table.
This event, we saw that there were different generations. We have the young generation, the older generation, and we all worked very well together. And we see that the minds of, if we work together with the young generation, they've got very innovative minds, they're very creative. The work for the community to push the community forward will be much smoother than it was when we came as first generation many years ago, when everything we did, we had to start from the scratch.
We have to stop, we have to lobby, we have to ask European politicians to stop funding bombing African countries, stop funding rebels. And like now, America is back in America, and it has AFRICOM in so many places. And whoever black person here thinks that America came back to help the security of Africa is just really not following the history of the imperialists. They came there again to do the imperialist thing. So whenever you talk about immigration, you have to really mention about the wars the Western do, like how they destroyed Libya now and created the position for black people to be sold again like slaves. So when we really talk about immigration, the one thing we have to know is the jets of the white people should stay in their airports. They shouldn't fly over Africa, and they shouldn't be funding us with weapons. We need books. We need to weaponize our minds. I used to live in Somalia. You can buy an AK-47 faster than you can buy a novel book or a history book. So you guys are the pioneers. And now our youth, Zakayo was the other youth, our youth, we're not talking about discrimination. We're talking about the whole system, and the whole system is things like a white supremacy. And white supremacy is so big and so diverse, so we just have to really tell white people in a very respectful way that these are the problems. And I also myself want to go back in Africa and have a farm. And if there is a way that they can sponsor us, those people who really want to take it and keep there and start a job connected to the EU and make sure that people don't come, that will change, that will change. So please, whenever you guys talk about immigration, because I'm a refugee from Somalia, and my country was destroyed by war, and we didn't have any weapon factory in our country. So that's the question you should be searching. Thank you.
We had a panel discussion. We had more than 7 experts who each talked about their areas of experience and their areas of expertise. What are the challenges and the solutions they see would be beneficial to their community. The audience was also very engaged and made a lot of contribution. We broke into small groups and discussed the content of the decade in detail, which is under recognition of people of African descent here in Belgium. And then we looked at justice. Was justice for, is there fair justice to the people of African descent here in Belgium? Then we also looked at development, which is about I mean, where do we go from here? What can we put in place?
I think, and that's again about awareness, we should come up with issue-based institutions where it's about a theme, it's about an issue that is affecting everyone irregardless of their country or their tribe.
We have to think another way. We have to think after midnight. After midnight is that you can handle the change. We are not, if I will draw it, you will see that the ability to change of us is like this line, and the changing itself is like this. So we could never reach the change. Knowing that, that means I hear a reaction of one of the men here who say, as long as we are talking, let me say this, I'm not here to be friends with you, I'm here to tell you the truth. So, recognize it or not. As long as we are still talking about the others, and how bad they are, or how good they are, or what they are doing, or what they are not doing, that means all the energy is going to somebody else.
Hi, my name is Mohammed Barry.
I'm Aminat Andau.
We are both the coordinators of Black History Month in Belgium. Yeah, we were today at the PAD meeting coming together, and personally, I really liked the people that were here and what they do, and getting to know them. That was for me essential part, I think.
Yeah, I think hearing the different voices, different perspectives, yeah, the opportunity to kind of be in a space where you get familiar with people doing projects you didn't know about. Yeah, just finding out that there's a lot happening, and being able to talk to those people and get inspired by that.
Yeah.
My name is Paidamoyo Chifamba. I am a Zimbabwean based in Belgium. My husband is the ambassador for Benelux and EU. It was a privilege, it was an honor to come and witness this launching of the PAD. It's a nice platform whereby the diaspora of African descent have now decided to have their voice heard. There's a lot to be done, and this is the time for the African descent to be heard.
The room was full of people with all different competences. So I'm very convinced that the dynamics are put in force, and we're going to move forward, and we're really looking, it looks very positive, at least from Antwerp's side, and we plan to continue and to make sure that we are part and parcel of all the program that's going to be running in the country, and that it can continue and it's sustainable, that our people can move away from being too dependent and looking out to others, but that we can look first of all into ourselves, and then collaboratively with other groups that we can, move forward and become a more self-sustaining community. And I'm very positive we are moving there.
None but ourselves. We should not expect that we can regain our dignity and our humanity from others, especially those that have suppressed us in the past, those who have benefited from us, those who are who they are because of us. Never. None but ourselves can change our circumstances. So I really want to thank you for the opportunity, and we look forward to more.